going. What's wild about the interview, my fiance started having contractions that morning. So I'm like, yo, like, do you, like, I don't want to have to cancel this, like, you know, but like, what, are we going to be doing this, like, right now? Do I need to send an email? And she was like, no, you can go, like, I should be okay. Her mom came over, so I ran out there, like, had this interview, and he's like, okay, yeah, like, you're good, we can get you going. I was like, listen, I'm about to have a kid, so, like, I don't know when.
That's wild.
I was like, I don't know, like, it could be happening today, like, next week, I don't really know, but, like, after that, I'm going to need just, like, a couple weeks. And he was super understanding. Chris is a really nice guy. And at 3 a.m. the next day, like, my daughter was born.
That is wild.
Like, when
Welcome back to another episode of the Chips and Chops podcast. Today we have on Langston Johnson, also known as LangMedia. He is a digital creator and a dad located here in the 574. He's currently working with the South Bend Cubs IUSB basketball team and the Elkhart Lions football team. Stay tuned till the end of the episode to hear Langston answer some of the questions our followers submitted.
All right, before we get rolling, I want to shout out Stock Room East, the beautiful space for the community. With anything you can think of, they have it. Let's get rolling.
All right, so my first question, Langston, is when did you develop a passion for photo and video creation?
Man, oddly enough, like, it started, like towards the end of my senior year at college. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do after I graduated. Like, I wanted to go into broadcasting and, like, do that, and then, like, I just kind of realized, like, I would not make really any money doing it. So, like, I didn't think I was going to be able to be good enough at it. Like, I didn't like where I was at in the position I was at.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to make money doing this just with me. So what can I pivot to? And, like, I started to go through a little bit of a crisis, just like in the middle of my senior year. Like, what am I going to do? And I just happened to pick up a camera one time and, like, immediately fell in love. I had a class at Trine that basically I just started practicing video editing and, like, just fell in love. And that's really when it started. And then just for fun, like, we had a JV team at Trine, and I just started making, like, a mini docu-series about the JV team at Trine and, like, started throwing it together myself. Like, there was a couple games that they played before us, and I would be up there with the video camera, like, just recording the JV game, like, in my, like, I'm full, like, I went into halftime, changed my clothes, like, got my shoes on, like, ready to go, and I'm sitting baseline up in the stands, like, recording this JV basketball game, ready to throw it together after the game, like, almost more excited to throw this game, like, throw the clips together than I was to play in the actual game.
No, that's a crazy, like, story of how you started, right? You started filming, like, I mean, you're a hooper at Trine University, right? I mean, you were playing in high school and everything. I'm curious, so back then, what was that around, like you're saying, 2015, 2016 in high school? Was, like, photography for sports games really big back then? Or is it really just taken, I mean, it seems like it literally in the last year.
Because I feel like the ice has really been broken, and there's so many photographers now.
Oh, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy that you guys bring that up. So, we'll go, like, when I was in high school, there was one person, and he came along I want to say maybe my sophomore year, and he was a kid's parent, someone I graduated with, Mr. Haney, my guy, and he used to get us, like, football. His son played football, so he would be at all the football games and get us right after the games. Like, everyone was waiting for his pictures. He would stay up super late, and he'd wake up in the morning. We'd go to film. We'd have film like 8 a.m. in the morning, and we already knew, like, all right, when you wake up, like, be ready to tap into Dean's pictures. Like, and he was the only one, like, there was nobody else taking pictures. So it's crazy that, like, to just look around and, like, all the media and stuff that these guys have nowadays, like, oh, I wish we had that when I was in high school. I mean, I wasn't really any good, but, like, just to have it, like, just to look back is crazy.
You went to play in college. You had to be somewhat good to go play in college.
I guess, but it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it is wild. Like, the fact that, I don't even know, there was some Washington basketball game. I think there were, like, 5 photographers there.
Oh, right? I was there. When Washington played Elkhart, there was 9. Including the news. Because I counted, because we're all sitting, like, between everybody there, but there were 3 news stations and 6 people.
That's like a college event.
It was crazy. Like, it was like the only game of the area. So like everyone was like, you know, whatever. We went like, you know, Nolan, Kellen, like we're all there. So Grant and we're like, you know, we don't really have anything else to do. Let's pull up to this game. And so we just all show up to the game and you just see our pictures going after. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how it's been going.
And it's cool that you guys all have your own style to the pictures because you're not all posting the same pictures. You're not all posting the same shots. You all have your own editing skills and whatnot. So it's just cool seeing the variety.
Like if you were to show me probably like 3 different pictures from 3 different photographers of the ones I know, I could probably pick them out by who's who. You know
right? Yeah,
that is so cool.
Yeah, based on their style and kind of what they do, which is really cool. That kind of everybody has their own style.
So how did you decide to? It seems like you've been doing this for about a year and a half. How did you decide to start like taking pictures for high school basketball, high school football?
So at the beginning of COVID, so my fiance's younger sister,
fiance, you guys are engaged.
Yeah, we're engaged. So my fiance's younger sister, Maddie Axum, she was a senior last year. So I'm like, you know, I'm sitting at these games, like we gotta go to these games anyway. Dean actually Mr. Haney let me borrow his camera, and I was like, you know, can I use it for a little bit so I can, like he had his backup camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, let me borrow it so I can just go to these games. So then I just, like, when I do things, like, I get into it. Just ask my fiance. Like, when I get into stuff, I get into it. So, like, for these girls' basketball games, these Elkhart girls' basketball games, like, they started hot. So, like, I'm talking about, I got game recaps going, at like halftime graphics that I look back and I'm like, what even is that? Like halftime graphics, end of the game graphics, like I just like jumped into it and that's just what I did.
No, that's awesome. And then it seems like in like the last, I mean, really a couple months, like you've kind of gained some popularity around here, right? You're doing photo and video creation. Not very many people do the video creation. But I'm curious, how do you feel going into, like you said, like the Washington basketball game? You see 9 other photographers. Do you like that there's so much competition, or is it kind of intimidating?
No, I like it. Like going back, like me and Kellen. So Kellen is like, I'm 24, so like I'm pretty, like all these guys around here, like I'm so much older than everybody else. It makes me feel like an old man sometimes.
Well, they all like look up to you very much.
Well, yeah, like if you like ask them, like Kellen and Nolan, like I'll like go in and they just call me dad. I'm like,
no. I wanted to say that. I wanted to say they all look at you as the photographer dad.
It's so weird.
I'm always in the comments and there's 8 dudes calling you dad.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like they literally just call me dad. Like Kellen, if you like ask people at his school, that he will call me dad and they know who he's talking about. And and his dad is a teacher at the school that he goes to. He'll literally say dad and like he's talking about me.
That is crazy.
Kellen is my guy. But anyway, so me and Kellen, like he was a freshman in high school when I first met him. Like we just happened, actually it was at the Washington Elkhart basketball game. We just happened to kind of start chopping it up a little bit. Just, you know, whatever. We're the only 2 guys. And for basically that whole year, like it is literally me and Kellen are the only people in the area taking pictures. And like the only ones that we saw anyway. And then all of a sudden, like,
you know, I remember him when he first started.
Yeah, I mean Kellen's crazy with the edits and stuff like that. Like he's for
his age.
Yeah, or
is wild.
Just
I mean, in general, but like starting that young is
when
so
we did the video that we did for the Warsaw Elkhart football game.
Yeah,
and I had like he basically like came to my house and we worked on it together, and I tapped out at like 4 a.m. I'm like, bro, I gotta go to bed. Like
you guys were working that late?
Oh yeah, because we wanted to get it out ready the next day. So I tapped out like 4 a.m. I'm like, bro, I can't. I'm about to fall asleep in this chair and you're gonna take a picture of me and I'm gonna be embarrassed. And man, I woke up the next morning and like told my friends, I'm like, hey, like, you know, if you go out there, just be quiet. Kellen's probably out there. And she's like, all right. She goes out and goes, hey, Kellen's still awake.
And that was what time?
8.
And he's been editing for 10 hours.
Yeah, he just like literally just stayed up all night and was like, yeah, I just really wanted to get this done. I got locked in. Yeah. Crazy. So anyway, I got off on a tangent. But anyway, so like me and him were the only ones. And then all of a sudden, like that next basketball season, that's when Nolan came into play. That's when Aiden came into play. I think those were the only 2 at the time. And me and Kellen kind of looked at each other like, oh my gosh. And now like we go into this year like, bro, there's like a new photography page from this area that follows me. Like
there's one from every school, basically.
Yeah. I mean multiple people, and like people are like good. Like it just takes practice, whatever. Like to get better. But like seeing like that many people, like I'm a competitor, so like I'm like, well, if there's this many people there, I gotta try to be best.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like you know, I gotta lock in, make sure I do what I do, because like photography isn't my like main thing, but like if I'm gonna come in here and take pictures with everybody else, like I gotta try to make sure mine's the best.
Yeah.
Like that's just I like the competition of it. It's obviously friendly competition, but
For sure.
like and I feel like everybody else looks at it that way too.
Photography is not your main thing?
No, what I like to do more is video. Like that's
okay. Okay,
yeah.
I thought you were talking like a whole different.
Nah.
He's posted some like YouTube intros and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For Elkhart and other stuff like that.
Yep.
So you're more of like into film, is that what it is?
Yeah, so I would say I'm more into video. Actually, Daryl, who you guys had on last,
he knew you.
Yeah, Daryl was one of the people that helped me like get better at video.
Yeah,
like Daryl was like a key part in like me taking a jump, at least to kind of like know what I'm doing, to be able to guide me in a little bit. Like Daryl was huge in that for me. So like video has been kind of my what I do more than photography.
No, that's awesome. So like, have you been working on any films for basketball season yet, or?
And by film, are you talking like how long?
5-minute videos or something like that. Right?
So I haven't yet. I think I want to do. I think I want to do something for IUSB coming up. I'm not 100% sure. And then.
So are you like licensed to them or something, or contract with them, or?
So my college roommate, my sophomore year, coaches at IUSB. He's the assistant coach, Jason Clune, and so I was like, hey, like if you guys need like someone to do like video for you guys, like let me know. I'll pull up. And he was like, the head coach actually, he was like, hey, like our coach wants to meet with you. So I went in. He was like, listen, we can pay you if you will just be our video guy, like help us just whatever, do your thing. I don't really care what you do, just do your thing. So basically like I just show up, like I do whatever I do for them and they pay me, so it works out.
No, that's awesome. It seems like you're also partnered with the South Bend Cubs and then maybe the Elkhart football team, right?
Yep, that's right.
So how did you get those two gigs?
So
South Bend Cubs, for example, like that's pretty
it was crazy. So I was just kind of like, I just wanted to basically just take pictures at a South Bend Cubs game, just one. I just wanted to pull up to a South Bend Cubs game, and I didn't know where to start.
Are you passionate about baseball? Cause
nope.
No. Okay.
Nope. I just wanted, like, I wanted to take pictures, like I wanted to get better at it.
Yeah.
And then like whatever, like it's still like a minor league baseball team. Yeah. So it's still at the end of the day, it's still a professional team.
Rising in popularity.
No, they're
and they're like in the last 5 years,
and they're actually good.
Yeah,
so
they're the best team. Yeah.
So I like emailed their like head of like media, Chris Hagstrom, and I'm like, yo, like, can I like come take pictures at a game? And he was like, how would you just like to be like our team photographer? And I was
without even like,
he was like, because I sent him like some of the pictures I've taken in the past.
Oh, okay.
Just like, hey, like I'm not just a random, like, can I come take pictures? And he was like, well, we need like at least a part-time photographer. Like, do you want to do that? And I was like, sure. So he was like, yeah, all right, come in for this interview and we'll get it going. What's wild about the interview, my fiance started having contractions that morning. So I'm like, yo, like do you, like, I don't want to have to cancel this, like, you know, but like what, are we going to be doing this like right now? Do I need to send an email? And she was like, no, you can go, like I should be okay. Her mom came over, so I ran out there, like had this interview, and he's like, okay, yeah, like you're good, we can get you going. I was like, listen, I'm about to have a kid, so like I don't know when.
That's wild.
I was like, I don't know, like it could be happening today, like next week, I don't really know, but like after that I'm gonna need just like a couple weeks. And he was super understanding. Chris is a really nice guy. And at 3 a.m. the next day, like my daughter was born.
That is wild.
Like when I got home from the interview, we basically like went to the hospital after that. She was like, it was like almost go time.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. Like super wild story. Super wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're okay.
How do you balance being a dad, like, you know, providing for your family and then also like pursuing your passions? Like,
it's been over the last like probably like couple, like she's starting to like crawl and stuff, so it's like honestly it's been pretty hard. Just like, you know, like I still have a full-time job, like I work over in a trailer factory in Middlebury, so you know,
you do something during the
yeah, so like I'm getting up at 3:45 in the morning, like helping. My mom comes over and watches our daughter, like would shout out to my mom.
Oh, that's a W.
Yeah, big time. So she like comes over to the crib, like watches her while we're at work. So I get up at 3:45 in the morning, like ready to go, and then we have to come home from work and like be parents.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, she's super understanding. Like I couldn't do what I do without her. Cause like if she was like, yo, like I just can't do this. Like we can't really have you do this. And I wouldn't really have an argument. And
It'd be cool if you like pulled up to a game, like, you know, in like those sacks for the kids.
Oh,
you're like walking around taking flicks with a kid in your like on your chest.
If I was like, if I pulled up to a place and was just taking pictures, I promise you I would do it. Like if I was only taking pictures, like I would definitely do it.
But the video,
she would just be screaming in my microphone. Yeah. Like it would just ruin my audio. But I love her to death. But it would ruin my audio. But yeah, so like I wouldn't be able to do any of this like without her. Shout out to her. So it's
when you guys get married. You having DJ? Wait, are you having DG doing the DJ for it?
Oh, if we may not have an actual legit wedding, but if we do, come on,
that's your
come on, he's a DG visionary. He's there. He's there instantly. Yeah. So it's been kind of tough. Just trying to find the time and trying to make sure that I'm not basically just absent at home and just trying to balance everything out.
For sure.
Yeah. So
no, it's really cool that like you can be able to balance. I mean, if you're working a full-time job, you're also, you're involved with 3 different sports teams here in the 574. I mean, they're Elkhart and South Bend. I mean, that's like 30-minute drive. You know what I mean?
It's a lot to balance.
Yeah.
But like good. I mean, you must have a really high motor then. You know what I mean? That's definitely like that's kind of incredible.
Do you eventually want to get it so you can just do like video and photography for a sports team and not have to like do anything else?
Yeah, so that's my goal. The goal is to basically like my personal goal is I want to have like a steady salary income. So I want to work for like a team. So college or pro team, like that's the end goal. That's what I want to do.
No, that's incredible.
Because I didn't know if they did that, because I feel like most like NBA, NFL teams, MLB teams, they just have a bunch of photographers. Like I didn't know if they had like a head guy that just does everything.
So like media.
They have like all teams have like in-house videographers and photographers and all that stuff. Yeah. And they also have like the NFL has they're called LCCs that they do like stuff basically for the NFL, and they work for like teams in that area. Like
they're always like the end lines are just lined with photographers. Yeah. I'm like, are all these guys just private guys that don't get paid by the NFL? They get paid by the players.
Some of them. So a lot of them are. Some of them are team. Some of them are LCCs. Some of them are literally just guys taking pictures for the newspaper or AP or whatever it may be. So that's kind of where that comes from.
That's awesome. What would you say have been some of like your favorite moments starting video creation and photography?
Some of the coolest moments I've definitely had. One was like, so when Blake was his senior year, is basically my like second month doing any type of video, and I kept telling Kellen, I'm like, look, we're gonna go to this Riley game, and I'm not going to go there just to take video of Blake. That's what everyone's doing. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. And
by the end of the game, I only had video of Blake. I told myself I wasn't going to do it, and I did. I couldn't help myself. I mean, he was dominating the game, whatever. Yeah. And so him, like, being able to say, like, I've taken video of a guy that's just, like, I literally have a video on my page. Actually, I may have archived it, but he's in the league. Like, so that, like, that...
That's the sad thing is like Jay Ivey. None of these photographers were around when he was in the day.
Yeah, which is crazy.
He was at Alamir.
He was.
I mean, but still, his senior year, there wasn't photographers. Really.
Yeah. That might have been the COVID year, but no, I don't.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, Blake's senior year was the COVID year.
Yeah, which would have been Jaden's freshman year at Purdue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so like it, like that has been a cool moment, and then, man, what? I'm trying to think. What else? Doing the state basketball games was pretty cool. Just like I'm like, yo, I'm taking some video at the Pacers, at the Pacers arena. Like normally I'm up sitting way at the top in the stands, and now I'm literally on the floor. I mean, granted it was for a state basketball game, but nonetheless, like I got a picture of Tom Izzo. I got a chance to shake his hand and talk to him for like 2 seconds, and my fiance's family, like huge Michigan State fans, they named one of their dog Izzo, like literally after Tom Izzo. So like that was super cool, and like so those have been like some super cool moments. If I could say my top ones, and then
being the dad of photography or no?
Yeah, I guess having just like when I go to places, people be like, "Hey, Dad." Yeah,
that's something. What would you say are like games that you're looking forward to going to this year? Have you looked at like the schedules and planned on some great ones?
Yeah. So like obviously, Penn is like their must
see.
Yeah, they're must see. And then so like I haven't like looked out and been like on January 24th, like I'm hitting this game. Like that's like normally it's literally like I'll be at work. I'll literally be at work on a Monday and be like, go to John Harrell's website and be like, okay, these are all the games for the week. Like, is there one that I really want to hit, or is there one, or does someone hit me up and be like, yo, like, can you come out and do a video, or like whatever it may be. Like, that's like I haven't like looked out necessarily.
I know. I think it's like February 10th. It's St. Joe Marion, and then also it's Washington Penn. So that's gonna be like a day.
Crazy. And the Washington Penn game will be crazy. Like
that's gonna have 10 people probably again. And all that.
Oh, everyone. I
mean, we're gonna have to go to that game.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Like either that or Holy War.
Yeah,
I feel like the Washington one's gonna be so much better.
It'll be a better game. The Holy War will just be like it's the Holy War.
Yeah,
like we have a lot more friends at those schools.
Penner. It'll be crazy just for the sole purpose.
But still, like
it's Holy War.
I watched Washington the one time, and they're like hounding.
Yeah, they are.
They're so good.
Yeah, we went to the Clay Washington game last Friday, and that was just so much fun to watch. Like,
those dudes like they. What's crazy is like Penn and Washington like do like the same like similar stuff.
Yep.
But Penn just has Marcus. And like I guess they both have a Marcus, but like Penn's Marcus is just a 4-star. Like, that's like one of the main differences that just separate the two teams, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like if let's just say Washington had a 3-star, like all of a sudden we're having a very different conversation of like, is Washington going to be able to hang in the game? Now we're talking about like, are these guys just going to go for 40 back and forth? And
that's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
Yeah, and also Penn also has the 6'9", 6'8".
Yeah, like their team is like exactly what you would want.
Yeah, literally.
Well, Tank is what 6'3", but 6'10" at heart.
Tank is 5'10". 5'10", 160.
He tried to give it to him. You hear that, Tank? He tried to give you the height. He
5'10", but 6'10" at heart.
Yeah, really. He's a big guy. He plays the 4 sometimes. You were going back to your high school basketball days. I know this is kind of all over the place. What would you say were your favorite moments back then? I mean, you could probably you're taking pictures of these hoopers. You can relate to them in a lot of ways, which I think is so cool.
So back in high school, like I really don't think I was very good in high school. Like I got recruited. Like I had one school that was, or two, Manchester and Trine were the only 2 schools that were even like looking at me.
Yeah.
And so like in high school I was no good. And one of my only favorite memories of like high school basketball is like almost hitting a game winner in the sectional championship game.
Almost hitting this thing?
Almost. No, I made it. And then Kyle Mangus went coast to coast and won gamed us like for the chip.
Yeah. That's annoying.
Almost though.
Would you say hoops is like still a passion of yours, or have you really kind of taken a backseat when it comes to that?
So like when I left college, so like my college career, like I played every single game of like every single regular season game for 4 years. Like I scored 1,300 points. Like
wow.
Yeah. So like
you had
you're in the
and you're trying to say you're not good. Like you had.
No, I got better in college. I got better in college. Like I turned into a guy in college, but like in high school I wasn't. But like after that, like my knees hurt every single day. Like my back hurt every single day. So like basically for like 2 years, like over like recently, probably over Thanksgiving break, I played basketball 2 times in 1 week, and that was the first time I did that since I left school. Like I still love basketball, but I got to a point where I was like, you know what, this video stuff, like if I'm gonna pull up to a gym, let me bring my camera.
So those 2 times, is that when ISO Cameron beat you in a 1v1?
Oh my goodness gracious, Cameron. Look, I'm looking at you, Cameron. You did not beat me. You remember.
He knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about.
You scored 1,300 points at Trine. Do you think that if you went back and you could play in a high school right down the 574, do you think you could hang with everybody?
Yes, I'm giving everybody buckets. What?
Yeah.
What? Yes, I'm giving everybody buckets. What
team would you play for?
If I could play for a team.
What team would you play for?
Yeah,
no, okay.
Like, in a hypothetical, if you could literally...
He's not LeBron James.
I mean, there's a lot of good teams in the 574.
I guess, yeah. It's a valid question.
If I could play for a team... If I can play for a team, I'm going back to Elkhart and I'm going for trying to go for 40 like every game.
Okay. So you're just gonna rack up the stats.
Yeah,
you're not going for a state championship.
Since I couldn't do it in high school, I'm just gonna go ahead and try and do it now. Okay. Like as a 24-year-old grown man, like I'm just gonna try and put up stats.
No, I've wanted to do that. Like go back to like and play like middle school.
Yeah, and just be like, I'm gonna go ahead and
just like dog some kids.
Yeah, like you think about what your stats could be. Yeah.
The thing is, like I average like 2 points, probably 8 rebounds a game, a couple assists. And, like, if I look back right now, I'm having 0 assists. I'm just shooting every time I get the ball.
Every time you touch the rock.
It's wild. Like I like to think like my skill just came late. And
I don't think so.
You were a late bloomer.
I was a late bloomer.
Yeah, maybe. I think I guess I would consider myself a late bloomer too. So what are your future plans?
So I really want to I want to work for a team. Like that's the end goal. Just having
NBA?
That would be the goal. If I could work for the Bulls are my favorite team. If I could work for the Bulls, that would be like if I had dream goal 1A, that's it. And then working for the Colts because the Colts are my favorite NFL team. That's 1B. So but literally just anywhere, being able to have a consistent salary. Where I'm not freelancing, which to the people that do that, kudos to them. That's dope that you're being hired enough to do that. But I would just like to have the consistent salary of working for a team, going in, having exactly what I need to do, and doing it that way. That's that's the end goal.
No, that's awesome. How do you plan on upgrading in the next few years then? I mean, it's hard. I mean,
it's weird. So getting better at my craft. It's you got to go work at it. Everyone who does this stuff, they talk about YouTube University. You literally you spend all your time on YouTube just trying to figure out new effects. What are other people doing? Like right now, I'm trying to dive into the graphics game a little bit. I'm not very good at it, but I'm trying to get better at it. Being able to do motion graphics and whatever it may be. That's the next step for me as far as that goes. And then really just perfecting my craft to the point where people see my work and they're yo, not only is this really cool and this dope, but I gotta have him I gotta have him working with me. That's
no, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You want to get into the questions?
Yeah, I'll ask one more thing.
Okay.
So you talked earlier in the episode about how you tend to just dive into things and kind of put your all into it. What have been things in say since you've been in high school, other things that you've been really into at times?
Podcasting and stuff.
Really? Yeah.
So this was my thing. I got really into it. I did a couple play-by-play for some girls games at Trine, did a color commentating. What else? I got a chance to walk the studio and kind of see what Chuck Freeby does. Chuck Freeby's been
that's so cool.
Yeah, Chuck Freeby he's my guy. He's Chuck Freeby. Shout out to Chuck.
He used to live across the street from me.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't know I lived across the street. No, I saw him walking a couple times.
Chuck's my guy. He's the reason I got to the state championship game. Got into him. He got me my media credentials. I was at
pretty soon. All high school games are gonna have to have media credentials.
Yeah. They definitely
with the up and rising of photographers.
Literally all the photographers. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So, let's see.
So did you have a podcast or?
Actually, yeah. So
you were first.
I had one when I was at Trine. I literally recorded a podcast. I had me and my guy John Kay. We recorded a podcast and we talked about Trine football team every single week. We came on Wednesdays and talked about the game before. Did our stats, had our recaps, and then talked about the game, the upcoming game.
Yeah.
And then I asked Jason, my guy that works, the assistant coach at IUSB. Okay. We did a radio show,
live radio.
Yeah,
show?
we did a live radio show that I'm sure basically only 2 people listened to in Angola when they just happened to be turning the station. That's
still cool.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. Yeah, I just asked yo, I want to do a radio show. What can I do to make that happen? And basically the director was I don't care. You guys can show up at 7 o'clock at night and just do it late at night. So he gave me the keys, and me and Jason would go in. We did not do very many episodes because the school year was almost over. But basically did around March Madness and in that time. And
it'd be cool to see how many people listen to that.
It definitely would have been. I'm sure it can't be more than 5. I'm not kidding. It can't be more than 5.
If you could yeah, you've definitely like learned some things with like having social media and stuff like that. You could go back right now and be successful with it in some sort of way, right?
Yeah.
Whether
Oh
that's
yeah.
making 550 or 500.
Yeah. Yeah. I like if I like wanted to, like I definitely like think about it every once in a while. Like, you know, I should try and reach out to somebody and just like try and do color for a game one time.
Yeah.
Just because like I kind of miss that. Like it was a lot of fun just being able to, like, you're literally just sitting back like talking about sports. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah,
like,
no,
that's, like you talk about sports and you go home.
It's
like being a color commentator.
job.
Being a color commentator for like an NBA game would be so cool.
so fun. Like obviously
cool.
the preparation and stuff. Like it's like there's obviously a lot of work that goes into it. Like I'm definitely
you got to know every player, their stats, everything.
Like just you have to know like stuff. And so like that's obviously not easy to do, but at the same time, like you're just literally sitting courtside, like basically like we are just sitting here chopping it up, like but just talking about basketball.
It's just, like,
and all like millions of people are listening to what you're saying.
Yeah, and some people don't like it, some people do. It doesn't really matter. You're still getting paid, and you still get to talk about basketball. Like what?
Everyone likes Mike Breen. Yeah, I've never met a guy that doesn't like him.
No, I'm neither. But like then you got guys like the Van Gundys. And, that people are
Booger McFarlane.
That people either like or they don't, and if they don't, it's fine.
My dad and I always clown Booger McFarlane. Like he was like the guy for Booger, right? He was on Monday Night Football, and then he got like demoted to like Thursday night.
They had him on the that camera or what is that? What was that thing called? That huge. I can't remember what it was called, but basically during the games they would literally just take him like back and forth, and he would ride on it was like a huge.
Wait, I didn't see that.
It was like a huge elevated cart. They did it like the last year.
I know what like the camera you're talking about. I've seen those before.
And he would just like go back and forth, and everyone was like, "What even is this?"
Oh no, that's awesome. Okay, so we sent out an Instagram poll and got 6 responses from people. So we're gonna ask Langston some of your guys' questions. Okay, so the first one is from Rich$20. Favorite game and athlete that you've taken a video or photo for?
Favorite game? I'm trying to think if there's been like a wild game that I've taken a video for. I feel like there definitely has to be like a wild game. What? Actually, one of my favorite ones is Marion's semi-state game because, like, first of all, like, Northside Gym doesn't really get that packed anymore, but it was popping.
Northside,
like in Elkhart, like
Elkhart
home gym.
Semi-state was in Elkhart.
Yep, yeah, it's in Elkhart. So semi-state games are in Elkhart. So like, the gym is like. Have you guys ever been there?
Yeah, I've been there a couple times.
Yeah, so like
back when I was hooping.
Yeah, back when you were a hooper. late bloomer though. He's
freshman basketball team stuff. Off the bench.
Oh, you guys, yeah. So you guys will have to pull up to the semi-state games. Okay. There's like actually people there. It's insane. So like obviously like Marion is packed. Like they played like Leo, so that's only in Fort Wayne. So like the gym is packed and it's so loud. And actually like Rich was going crazy. He's like hitting 3. Like I think he hit like 5 threes that game. Like he's going nuts. Like the crowd is so insane. Like they ended up winning. Like it was super intense. Like that was one of my favorite games I've ever done. And then honestly, like one of my favorite guys. I don't know. Do you guys know about the NIBC? So basically, it's a high school like conference, and it's like La Lumiere is in it.
Yep.
Mount Verde is in it. So like all like those schools are in it. Yeah. So they play in LaPorte. They did last year, then they will this upcoming year.
Wait, is that tournament thing that they do in that weird gym?
Yep. So they did it last year. Me and Kellen kind of finessed our way in there, and
I remember seeing.
And Grady Dick was playing on one of those teams, and so it was just like I think it's funny because like obviously like Grady Dick, like his last name, like whatever. Like I know you guys have seen all the stuff like the newspaper that Kansas students like printed out and stuff like that. So like that's been one of my favorite because it's like even if no one who just like watches college basketball, they're like,
wait, is he that white?
Yeah, the white guy. The white guy. Yeah.
I know who that is.
So like he was definitely one of my favorites, just for the sole purpose of like I'm like looking back.
Did you send him any content or not?
So I posted a video that he liked, and then the people there were like, "Hey, like you can't take video. You got to delete the video." And I was like, okay, "You got it." They did. Luckily, they didn't kick me out.
Why? Why? Because it was
it was on
someone
ESPN.
else.
It was on ESPN. So like ESPN has the rights to all the video, unless you work directly with the NIBC or one of the teams.
So yeah. So if that happened again, you'd have to get it with one of the teams. Or something.
Yeah, like yeah. So like
if someone takes a video and like posts it on like
so. I don't know exactly. Like obviously, if I'm like on my phone.
ESPN like DM'd you?
No, one of the people that were running it. I'm sure like I posted it and he shared it, and I'm sure like they saw it and went to my profile and was like, "Hey, this guy that kind of looks like this guy over there. Like, hey, like maybe go over and say something to him, and so we don't have to kick him out."
So they came over and talked to you.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, I thought this was like after the game.
No. Like in the middle of the game, like I'm tracking, like doing my thing, like tracking, and they're like, "Hey, like you can't take video," and I was like, "Oh yeah. Yep, I'm not."
My bad.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so the next question is from Nolan at LangMedia. He said, "How many more kids do you plan on having?"
Probably just one more.
One more?
Yeah, that's probably, other than all my photography kids that I guess I have. And so I'll take all the photography kids, but as my own blood, probably one more.
One more? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shots by Rye said, "What makes you so dedicated?"
I'm a competitor, and so like I just like when I like get into stuff, I want to be really good at it. I want to be the best at it. So like when I post my work, like I'm like I want to be the best in this area. Once I feel like I'm there, then I want to be like I want to be the best in the state. I want to be the best in whatever it may be. So like just like wanting to be like the best is definitely what like drives me to just keep practicing and better.
No, that's awesome.
I think like a lot of photographers have that same mindset as they want to be the best in the area, but you guys all work together. So like it's really cool, like all the collaboration.
Yeah, it's definitely dope. Like obviously, like
none of you guys like hate on each other. There's no like
no.
It seems like there's no beef.
Yeah, there's definitely not
beef. Sure.
No, there's definitely not beef. Like obviously everyone wants to be better. Like Kellen is one of my favorite people on the planet. Like I want to be better than Kellen.
Yeah,
but like
and he probably wants to be better than you.
And he wants to be better than me. But it's like we're still like Kellen. Like we've pulled. He pulled, not neither I didn't. Like working on videos, and I'm sure at some point we're gonna collab on another one. Like like Kel's my guy.
No, I'm really curious. It seems like, I mean, Aiden, Nolan, and Grant. I mean, they're all gonna graduate high school this year, right? I'm curious if new photographers are gonna come in and kind of take their spot, or I'm really just curious what's gonna happen then. Right?
I'm kind of curious too. Like I definitely like I said, like I get a bunch of followers, like new people with taking pictures, like all the time, and so
new flicks by and shots by.
It's literally like I already know like who it is by I'll just see a shots by or a flicks by, and like or something media, which is wild because that's what I am. But anyway, so like I'll be curious to see like if people are still popping up to games. If people are still like I really want to do this and I really want to get better at this, let me pull up. Let me I'm gonna stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday night going into Wednesday when I got to get up for school the next day so I can get these pictures done. And that's what all the guys are doing right now.
Yeah, it seems like and if we look in a couple of years, like longevity is key, right?
Yeah.
Like any single I guess photographer I talk to, they say how Lang and Kellen are like the best, right? Because you guys have been doing it for 3 years now, right? When most people have been doing it for 6 months a year.
Right.
So I'm curious, like. Yeah, I mean, I feel like who's ever going to be able to stay consistent is really going to be able to pop off.
Yeah, and it literally takes practice. Game. Like pull up to games. You gotta be willing to pull up to games and just whatever. Even if like some of the stuff, like especially right now, like early, like not a lot of us are getting paid, and that's fine. Like I just love pulling up to games. So like sometimes you just gonna pull up to games and be like, hey, could be an all right game, and even if it's not, like whatever, I'm just gonna come in here and work on my craft.
Yeah, and
do you pay to get into games?
No,
because like I feel like every photographer I've talked to, they kind of just walk in, show their camera, and like pretend like they're like contracted.
And like people have said that to me, like, what do you do for games? And I'm like, dude, people will let you go anywhere if you have a camera. It is so weird. Like you could just.
I started doing it. I just walk in. I just walk right past. And
Like
if they say something, oh my bad, I didn't see that.
Or literally, I just go in. Like people look at me and be like, oh, I'm taking pictures. Oh, I'm media, and they're like, all right, you're good. No matter what, like I'm not paying for high school. Like I'm not paying for high school games.
That's a waste of $6.
Shots by chips and chops on the way.
Yeah. Just pull up with the camera, like whatever. Just be like, oh yeah. And they will not make you pay.
I don't pay for games either.
Yeah, I mean,
I just try to get in.
Look at it this way. There's like professional games that I can get into for like 10. Like for example, South Bend Cubs games are $10, $12. A high school basketball game is $6. A JV basketball game is $6. A freshman basketball game is $6. Like,
I'll pay for it if I'm just going to watch whatever. I'm going with my fiance. We're gonna go watch a basketball game. I will say I'll pay. No big deal. Like whatever. I have a full-time job, obviously, so it's a little bit different than everybody else. But like, you know, like whatever. I have a camera. Like I'm literally like what I'm. This is gonna sound like super like. I don't want to be like an a-hole, but like what I'm doing is helping promoting your school. Like I'm helping to promote your athletes. Like I'm trying to get better at what I'm doing, but at the same time, like these guys, like it helps promote your school, it helps promote your athletics, and also you're not paying me to do it. So basically, this like most of the time, if you had photographers and stuff and people that you wanted to come to your school, they would be asking you to pay, and it wouldn't be cheap. So I'm doing it for basically the $6 entry fee.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean. You're welcome, right? Like,
it's not like that. Like I'm not trying to be like cocky about it. But at the same day, like at the end of the day, like it is like a promotion thing. Like you definitely get like the schools definitely get promotion from it when people see like social media is obviously a big thing with like the young kids. So like being able to see like the team school everywhere is semi important.
Yeah. Okay. A girl. The name is Girl with the Camera asked. If you were not a photographer, videographer involved in the media, what would you be?
Yeah, I don't know. Sportscaster. Yeah, a sportscaster. Like that's why I'm here because I had no idea what I wanted to do. Like literally none. Probably working at my trailer factory, going home and just sitting around trying to find things to do with my fiance and my child. Like that's like, I mean, that's probably what I would be doing, which is basically what I do anyway. Just add a little bit of an extra job onto it. But yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would want to talk about, or
what made you guys decide to start doing this? I don't know if you guys have touched on it on other podcasts, but
that's kind of like that.
So last March, Dave and I both signed up for Startup Moxie, which is like an entrepreneurial program for high schoolers, right?
Okay.
And we for some reason we felt pressure right away to come up with an idea for a business, right? Okay. When people still haven't even come up with their idea. It's December, right? And I was like, you know, what if we do a podcast? Because people know us around school, at least they have, is like, we're like the guys that are funny, you know, we're the duo people think of. You think of a duo, it's me and David, right? Okay. So yeah, and then it was fast forward to August, and we were like, we kind of forgot about the thing, right? And we realized, you know, Moxie's starting in, I think it was like 13 days or something. We were like, you know, what if we just do it right now? And so we did it, and we put our first episode. We were on my porch. It was just me and him, and like, I don't
even think we didn't even have like a itinerary of what we were going to talk about. We just like freestyled it.
Yeah, like we literally put probably like 2 hours into it. We didn't think about it at all. I mean,
zero editing. It was just raw, put it up. It was awful.
And it did well. Like
it would have us like clicking start.
Yeah, you could hear it.
Yeah. I mean, like something like Dave. Like, what are you surprised about that we've done differently? Because like, there's a lot of things like
being in here is just wild.
Yeah.
This place is super nice. This is really nice.
I thought that it was gonna be a lot longer of episodes, right? Because I was used to listening to Joe Rogan and stuff like that. I mean, like you have to think about like that. That's a craft too. Like to be able to talk to someone that you know for 3 hours.
Once you're that big, and you have bigger people, everyone like is listening to it as like celebrities, but we have to make sure like. I don't know how to put it.
They're easy. The podcasts are easy to listen to, where people will be like, I got a half hour.
Yeah.
Like I can, whatever. I got to drive from here to Elkhart.
Yeah. And we got to make it more relatable and whatnot.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, it's also kind of perfect because literally I don't think there's any podcasts in the 574 for 18-year-olds that are doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know anyone at Adams, anyone in South Bend schools that have anything like this. So
I actually don't either.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's like tapping into something that's never been done. Yeah, it's like it's kind of
not never been done, but never at the moment being done.
Yeah,
because there was some in previous years and whatnot. So
which is dope. What you guys are doing, like starting off, just having you guys and then be like. So what made you be like, yo, we should try and get some? Like, when did that pivot? And like, was Jordan your first one? He wasn't your first one. Was
he was our first. He was our first guy in here, right? No, after Yoder.
Nope. It was Yoder, Grant, Jordan.
Oh.
So what happened, I mean, for like the first while, it was literally just our friends. Right?
Yeah.
Like I had, a buddy on the tennis team I played with, Atticus, and his friend. I had my friend Jacob, who he lives a couple blocks away. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was literally just our buddies.
Yeah.
And like relatives and stuff.
Right.
And then, you know, we got into the studio, and I mean, I was already friends with Grant, so I don't really count. He was a friend.
Right.
And so I was like, why don't we do something big? So I texted Jordan, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, do you want to hop on? And he was like so into the idea. I've never seen he's so supportive. Like, it was crazy.
Oh yeah, he loves this. Like, it's kind of what he does now. Like, he loves this stuff.
He's really into like helping out people who want to get into media, which I think is so cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Which is super cool.
Yeah. So I mean, like, looking back, I mean, Jordan, he's really like, he jump started it all if you think about it, right? Because if you look at the last, what is that? 13
I just love that he like collaborates with every photographer. So every photographer's pictures get on his page.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Which is dope that he started to do that. Like, it's a promotion for everyone who wants it, and like also people just get to see like pretty good pictures of basketball. Like, what's the downside?
Yeah. It's just like, it's crazy that like since Jordan we've had 13 episodes, and I'm thinking like out of the 13 episodes, David, like how many of the guys would you say we've known before? I think it was literally like one or two.
I don't know.
I think it's literally only like
or like we've had more than we know.
Like who?
It's like know of.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like how many like would you call that like we've like no. Like actually no.
I don't know.
It was like it might literally.
You remember the episode list better than I do. I have bad memory.
It's I think it's probably around 0, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like we did Michiana Hoops guy we did that like 4 months ago, but like deep down it was like a month and a half ago.
It seems forever. It seems like forever ago. It does seem like forever.
So I'm curious like what like the next 8 months are gonna be like for us. You know what I mean? Like how we're gonna change. So yeah, same with you. What like the next 2 years are gonna be. What are you gonna? Because I mean I'm sure we'll look back and be like, oh, this was crazy.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So can you tell the people where they can find you?
So mostly just Instagram at lang.media. That's where I'm going to be posting all my stuff. Hopefully I can start diving into some YouTube stuff, but that's pending.
Yeah.
It's on the way.
A lot of stuff on the way. So thank you guys for listening to another episode. Look us up on every single platform. It's literally just Chips and Chops Podcast. It's pretty easy. All right. See you guys in the next one. Peace.